All right, my girly, whirly, twirly, whirlies. We're going to talk about compatibility because all of you guys always ask me, am I compatible with Jonathan? I'm a Scorpio and he's a Gemini, and no. But we're going to look at compatibility from a more intense standpoint, right? We don't do horoscope, US weekly, column astrology here. No, 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 no. I'm going to look at birth charts, okay? So the first thing I need you to do is pull up your birth chart, okay? So what you're going to do is get your time of birth and your place of birth, look on your birth certificate, and then you're going to find Jonathan's or your babe's birth certificate so you can get his birth chart, okay? We're going to need his time of birth, okay, for this method to work. I'm going to give you guys, so we're not really going to use the sun sign in this method. These three things I want you to look at are not all encompassing because there's obviously more things in the chart that we can look at by pulling up a synastry chart, but it'll give you a starting point. It'll give you some information to work with, okay? So once you have both of your birth charts, I want you to, number one, compare your moon signs, okay? Because the moon sign is going to tell me if you guys can live with each other, if you guys are going to be able to stand each other. Once that mask comes off and you guys aren't trying to impress each other, will it work, right? So if Jonathan has a moon in an air sign, you know, that's going to be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, and you have a moon in a water sign, I don't know about that, girl, because so if Jonathan is an air moon and you're a water moon, you are gonna over time feel like you're emotionally abandoned. That may not be his intention, but long term it may not work. Whereas if, you know, you're a moon in fire and he's a moon in water, moon in sign in air, his moon sign is an air sign, it might work because fire is kind of selfish and kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want, I'm gonna have my own party over here. And Jonathan, it's okay if you're, you know, a little wishy-washy because I'm still gonna party if your moon is in a fire sign, you know what I mean? Okay, and then like if your moon is in a earth sign, you probably are gonna be more compatible with, you know, moon in water signs or moon in earth signs, just because the earth signs want to build material wealth and they want to keep their home spotless and they want structure. So let's talk about the next technique you can use to see if you guys are compatible. You're going to pull up Jonathan's birth chart, or, you know, your bae. Again, insert bae here. And you're going to look at his Venus and his moon sign, okay? Why? Because Venus and moon in a man's chart is the feminine energy they're attracted to. And you're going to see, let's say, if his Venus is in Scorpio, do you have any Scorpio in your chart? If his moon is in Cancer, do you have any Cancer in your chart? Because then you'll know he'll be obsessed with you. He'll like you. Your energy is naturally giving that, okay? And you're also going to look at your own Venus and your, well, we already talked about the moon, your Venus sign, just because if he has energy that's similar to your Venus in some way, shape, or form, then you will feel loved because Venus is the love planet, okay? Now, the third part of this, well, the third technique I want you to look at actually is your 7th house cusps, okay? Why? Because the 7th house can tell us if this situation makes it to a relationship, the overall relationship dynamic, and how each of you is experiencing the relationship through what lens, through what energy. So look at the sign that you have on your 7th house. So if you have Aries in the 7th house, the way that you experience relationships or the energy you give into relationships is fiery. It's passionate. It's chase me. It's love and war, you know? And if he has Aries energy, he will give that to you and that will feel familiar. If he has, let's say, Gemini in the 7th house, right, then he's gonna experience or he's gonna want relationships that mentally stimulate him. Do you have Gemini in your chart in that scenario? Because that'll tell you if he sees you as a potential long-term partner. Anyways, I just wanted to give you these 3 techniques that you can use to determine compatibility. If you have any questions, drop them below. And if you want a deeper look, I do offer relationship readings.